Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, the Premier talked about the national attention that our province is getting on health care. And since he wants to talk about the news, I'll table a few national and international stories about the ER crisis that has worsened since he's been elected. From the New York Post, Mom Alison Holtoff dies after waiting 7 hours in Nova Scotia ER, and I'll table that. A CTV Vancouver about Cape Breton Regional. From the UK Independent, woman who died after waiting 7 hours in ER told husband she thought she was dying. The situation in our emergency rooms is worse now than when these were written. When is the government going to admit that there is a serious issue to deal with in our emergency rooms?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And those are obviously incredibly tragic outcomes that just devastate all Nova Scotians. Feel the pain when that happens, for sure. I know I personally feel that pain in a very big way, and I know that the people working in those emergency departments take that very personally. It has a huge impact on them as well. We have tremendous people working in our emergency departments. They go to work every single day, day and night, to support Nova Scotians, to be there for Nova Scotians. Nobody looks away from a tragic outcome from like that, Madam Speaker. But that does not change the fact that there is incredible strides being made to improve what happens in our healthcare system overall. And I'm very proud of the work the team is doing, but we feel terrible pain when those tragedies happen.
The Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, and it seems again today, the Premier is dismissing the issue of increasing deaths in our emergency rooms. Yesterday, he said that the very nature of the department is that not everyone can be saved and that the proportion of people dying is remaining steady. It's not, and I'll table that. He also took the opportunity to plug a new app that is not going to help someone in critical condition waiting in an emergency room hallway. While the Premier's announcing apps, people are dying. When is he going to treat this like the serious issue that it is?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Nova Scotians elected us to fix health care, and we are very focused on that. There are high volumes in our emergency departments. We know that for sure. We know there are incredible innovations that are coming to help divert people away from emergency departments. The app is part of that, Madam Speaker. There are many moving parts. Diverting people away from the emergency department helps those in the emergency department by controlling the volumes a little bit. So if there are people that are turning to emergency departments for things that there are other places they could go and be better served, like the pharmacy clinics, like the mobile clinics, like the virtual clinic. That's a good thing when we can divert people away. And the importance of the app, and I hope the member would recognize this at some point. If we can divert people away from the emergency department, that helps our emergency departments. It's all tied together, Madam Speaker, and we're doing incredible innovations working with healthcare professionals.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the New Democratic Party.
Yesterday, the Premier said the issue is that people were coming in at a high triage level. Today, it's people who are coming in because they didn't go to the pharmacy clinic. All we are asking is to acknowledge that this is a problem and to understand what we're going to do about it. A hospital staff person explained one man died recently after waiting 5 hours in an ambulance hallway. It was 5 hours and 40 minutes because they didn't realize he needed a blood transfusion for 5 hours because of all the dysfunction in the emergency department. More people died in the first 9 months this year than in the entire record-breaking year previous. Staff in ERs are going above and beyond, but they need this government to do more. Will the Premier please acknowledge that this is a problem and tell us how he's going to fix it?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And when there's a negative outcome, it is a problem, and it is painful for people. There will be people that pass away in emergency departments. It is the very nature of an emergency department that the sickest show up there. There will be situations where people pass in emergency departments, and it is hard on those people working in the departments. It is certainly hard on governments. We take that. I'll be happy to walk the member through all of the various innovations that we've made to improve healthcare. If I thought they would have a receptive audience, I'd be happy to invest that time. Time and time again, we talk about what's happening, but time and time again, we see that member stand up in this chamber and be negative about teachers, saying they make their kids put their hands up, be negative about those working in triage, questioning their ability to triage people. I trust the people delivering services to Nova Scotians.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the